Leviathan is fishes. So it says here, and didst separate the one from the other from the seventh, for the seventh part, namely, where the water is gathered together, might not hold them both. So Leviathan is as how man is woman and child, and also different races, nations. If you just say the human being race or the human race, it's all the different nations. You have the East Indians, you have the Arabs, you have the so-called Afro-Asiatic, whatever they call it. You have the Asiatic ones and all that there. You know, those are humans or people, whatever you want to call it. Human. Yeah, that's not actually just like how you have sharks. Within sharks, you have different sharks. You have the species is called shark, right? The species is called shark. Wait, did I say it good? Oh, no. I mean what is it? Species is called shark, but there's different races of shark, I should say. Did I say it good? You know, you have the species of shark, you know, shark species, and then you have the hammerhead, you have the green shark, Greenland shark, whale shark, you got the basking shark, you got the great gray shark, motherfucker, it's not white. You have the frilled shark, you have the bull shark, you have the tiger shark somewhere here. Okay, you got the leopard shark. Where's the tiger shark? Tiger shark here. Right. So you have all those things, and they're all the species of shark, but they're different races of shark. Well, that's the same thing with Leviathan. Leviathan is all fishes. So even octopus is part of the Leviathan race here, explained here, and but they are octopuses. You know, so-called octopus, because octopus is not a Greek word, so that's not their original name, but it's fitting. So he has 8 little tentacles and stuff like that. But anyway, so this is one a Leviathan, right? That's just one Leviathan, and then you have the other Leviathan, which is in the book of, I think I already clicked it. I think I clicked it away, maybe. Here comes the other Leviathan. Did I already click it away? Yeah, did I? Yeah. Here's the other Leviathan. This one can breathe fire. That's the actual one. Because it says here, Job chapter. Whoa. Job chapter 41, verse 19, it says, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as of a seething pot or cauldron. So what is a seething pot? A seething pot has smoke upon it. Here, smoke. This is a seething pot. Minus the faces and stuff like that. Or a cauldron, it's also a pot. It doesn't have. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. You can do witchcraft with it. Just like the rainbow, it has nothing to do with homosexuality, but they associated with it, so now it's associated to it and with it, you know. And yeah, this is not no homo thing neither, with all these colors and stuff like that. Esau does that. But these pots have been used for centuries upon centuries, even in Asiatic countries. You have this, that's what they do. They do that. These are not pots that you have for. Esau makes you associate a cauldron with this thing, because he has his little pots and pans laced with forever chemicals that will kill you eventually. They will take a few years off of your life. You know? That's what he does. But these things are made to last forever, and it's made to make food for multiple people. Because Esau makes pots and pans for, like, he wants to keep the family small, so he makes some little small dumb pans. But when you go to the other heathen nations, their countries, they make big pots. Like this is, I think, he's Arabian looking, so he's kind of Eastern people and stuff like that, as you can see here. Some kind of Eastern type people. But yeah, you have these ones that this is most likely a restaurant and all that type of stuff. Here's I think Japhet here. I don't know. Let's see this word. Look like a Japhetic word. No, these are Arab. Well, anyway. So his breath kindled coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. So that is what he does, you know. So it also says that he has pointy things. Here it says here, sharp stones are under him. Right? He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. What is mire? Mire is dirt. Mire is dirt that you walk upon, and here footprint. Oh, what the hell? Footprint in mire. That's what you get. Footprints in mire. And it says he had sharp stones. So it says here threshing board. Here. You have these stones under the threshing board. The threshing floor board, right? You have these stones. And what do these stones symbolically represent? They represent these mire is mud. This is what it says that he has. So clearly he walks on land. Clearly he can walk on land, right? Because it says sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. It's like this. Here. Check. He maketh the path to shine after him when he's in the water. One would think the deep to be hoary. What is hoary? Hoary is gray, grayish white. This. And what can do that? What can make the water look like it is gray? This. I shouldn't put ships. Speedboats. It can make the water look like it has gray hair, and it leaves a trail, because it says it right here. He maketh a path to shine after him. So what is that path? Let me see. It's fast swimming fish. Here you can see it kind of turn white and stuff like that, but you can imagine his back. Let me see, whales, orca. Orcas. If, I don't know, wait, let me see something. I don't know if you've seen a movie that has this or something like that, but there's movies that let me see something. What movie is it again? Avatar. Dinosaur in water. A creature moving. Okay, look, I can figure out something right now to think to type in, but you have animals in movies and stuff like that, then they swim, then they go like and then the water turns white behind them, you know, stuff like that. So let me leave that, because I wasn't even preparing to do this anyway, so, or else I would have had pictures already ready. But yeah, so that's what that's talking about. So that's the second Leviathan, and this is the third one. Isaiah chapter 27 verse 1. In that day Yahweh with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent. And he shall slay the dragon in the midst of the sea. Okay, so what does this mean? It goes into the word here. If I look up this word, it says here, Leviathan. We already know what that is. That's the dragon. Like the Leviathan sea monster, the dragon, which is the dinosaur. It's not perhaps. It is one. And it's not extinct. And yeah, this is just madness. But there is a bombardier beetle, that actually has this. A bombardier beetle has a thing that he can actually shoot fire, like, and smoke. It hurts. But if you're his size, you'd be dead. But anyway, so if he's bigger, but there's also a on a there also were dragons like this. No. Let me see. Dinosaur. You had this one here. This one. Okay, these are his eyes. These are his socket. What is here? That same thing that you have there with the bombardier beetle. The bombardier beetle has that. He has like a pouch in his abdomen, and then he lets two chemicals. They're separate from one another. He let those two chemicals join in, and then he spits it out. He does not get burned from that thing. He doesn't get burned. It comes on him and nothing happens. That's crazy. If it comes on you, it was gonna hurt you. But you're big, so it's really gonna hurt your fingers and stuff like that. If it's in your eye, then goodbye, bye eye. But anyway, so it says here, dinosaurs go, and then you have what is the other one that I'm looking for? Oh yeah. These are the skulls of these dinosaurs that these Edomites found. Here in this little thing is that thing that the bomber beetle has. It's right there. So on land we already had this thing, and they can prove it, but these devils are lying, or else then the Bible would be the truth, and that is not what they're doing. But you have to understand, they make it their own tongue to fall upon themselves. A lot of Edomites, they are really trying to validate the Bible, but the wicked of the Edomites that ruled the earth, they're trying to silence the rest. Either they die or they mysteriously get ill and stuff like that. But anyway, so enough of this. So Leviathan is real. We can prove it through history, but yeah, we shouldn't be focused too much 100% on that. Let Esau do his little lying tricks, but we know that the Heavenly Father is the truth and the Bible is the truth. That's why I am also pushing for that, because it's the truth and it's biblical truth. If it was just of my own truth, trying to prove dinosaurs are real, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But the scripture says so, and therefore I want to give the faith unto the Israelites that no, it is real. They're lying to you. That is what we do. We persuade men, right? So, okay, that's Leviathan. And then it says here, piercing. So I looked up the word Hebrew 12 and 81, which says fleeing, fugitive, right? Piercing is a fleeing and also fugitive, right? Then here it says here, the word serpent. And I clicked upon it. Hebrew 51:75, and it says here, serpent, snake, serpent, image of a serpent. Fleeing serpent, mythological. Okay, so it says fleeing serpent, and the other one says fugitive. Now, if you look up the book Genesis, chapter 4, verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Who's this talking about? It's talking about Cain. Because he was a murderer. He murdered Abel. And verse 14. And Yahweh said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord shall set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So, and that mark was leprosy. Now, if you go to he put that mark as a distinguishing sign. It's talking about leprosy. It's talking about his skin. And if you go to the Mormon, the Moron Bible, the Mormon, they call it Mormon Bible. I call it Moron Bible. The Book of Morons, the Book of Mormons. You see in their version of their fake Bible, Bible means just books, collection of books. So in their Bible, we have a book of law, statutes, and commandments, so of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But anyway, in their so-called Bible, right, They say that dark skin is a curse, and their God cursed all the people, all the white people. He cursed them, and then some of them became dark, and then the other ones stayed pale and yellow hair and blue eyes and stuff like that. So that's their book, which is exactly the opposite of the Bible, right? So Cain is that fugitive and a vagabond. He's that fleeing serpent that flees away from justice. Because he hasn't been actually apprehended, not yet. Yeah, it says here, Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. For example, what's his name again? Here. Dupont heir convicted of raping daughter spared prison. Wow. He was spared prison. So it says here that the judge said, he received an 8-year prison sentence in 2009 for raping his toddler daughter, because she brought him to the jail. I mean, to the police and stuff like that. But the sentencing order signed by a Delaware judge, paid off, said the defendant would not fare well in prison, and the 8 years was suspended. He's the heir of the Dupont, bruh. See? So they're not in trouble as other men, you know? If it was a Jake or other heathen nation, and they was just basically allegedly or even accused, you know, but this one has been found guilty or something like that in his sentencing. Sentencing is when you're guilty, right? Yeah, he received it. Yeah, he received the 8-year sentence. Yeah, but when it was time for sentencing, the judge gave him, like, you know what? I don't think you would fare well in jail. And then you can see his house. He was put on not house arrest even. I don't know. That's not the truth. This is something else. But this is his daughter. Ex-wife settle, or what's this? His wife or his daughter? Heir will not fare well, and this is the case. Yeah, look at his house there. So his house. He get to stay in his house here. His house is here. He gets to stay in his house. That's the same picture. Look, the green and the gray. That's the picture that he's holding up, the green and the gray, and then you see the road and stuff like that. Right. So they're not in trouble as other men. So that's Esau. This is Cain. Right. So let me go on back over here. Now it says here, Isaiah 51 and 9. Oh, awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of Yahweh. Awake, awake. As in the ancient days, in the generation of old. Let me see. Art thou not it that had cut Rabbah and wounded the dragon? So, what is that talking about? That dragon here mentioned is, and Rabbah is, let me go forth here, Hebrew, Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59, right? Because now I'm going to explain the word dragon, the word dragon here also, and also this one, serpent. This is talking about Esau, these two. But the dragon also, where was I again? Here. Isaiah 59 and 9. What? Isaiah 51, sorry. Prior book, prior chapter. Okay, so this is talking about Egypt, because here you have Rahab. So I click on Rahab, and it's talking about embolic name for Egypt. Okay, so it says, awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Basically, wake up, Lord, and judge them. Awake, as in the ancient time, because nowadays it's like the Lord is sleeping. All these heathen nations are doing all these abominable things, and the Lord is doing nothing. Back in the days, everybody would get killed. Everybody would get judged. A nation would go into slavery, wars all over the place because of the madness that people do. So the Lord would raise up kingdoms to fight against each other. Anyway, and people don't know the judgment of the Heavenly Father. That's why it isn't man to do wicked. In generations of old, as in the generations of old, art thou not it that had cut Rahab? Did you not cut Egypt? Did you not destroy them, and all the whole world knew about it, right? And wounded the dragon, which goes into the, how you call that thing? Basically a dragonian, like here, draconian law here, draconian law. Who had that? Esau. Draco, also the guy Draco. But the draconian constitution, or Draco code, was a written code of enforced by Draco in Athens near the end of the 7th century BC. It composed out of that. But fuck it, let me go here. Let me see here. Use the word draconian, right, to describe laws or rules that are really harsh and repressive. And you can find that also here as an example. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. They have grievous laws here, man. Esau has grievous laws, and those laws do turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, and of their own people too, that widows may be their prey. That's why they want to kick the man out the house, and then they give the woman money, like here you go. And they know the females are stupid because they don't know what the hell's going on. Like, don't you see that he's trying to destroy your family? I don't need a man. All I need is another man to give me some money so that I can live without a man. You see? Does that make sense? It does, because I'm a woman. Right. Because it's the men that gave you the right to do these things, and yet you be like, oh, need no man. If there wasn't no police, you would be in trouble, because these men would just take the pussy like Pepe Le Pew, and you wouldn't be able to stop it if there was not another man to help you. And that they may rob the fatherless. That is what they're doing. They're robbing you, the fatherless, because the man is not in the house. So you're a prey. You're a prey, but you don't know it. You're a prey that's being. It's like a bird in a golden cage. Yeah, you got a beautiful cage, but you're trapped. Your whole world is short-sighted. You can't see far. Yeah. So that is what it's talking about with the dragon, which is also the same thing as it is mentioned here. Sorry. Here. Isaiah chapter 27, concerning the dragon that is in the sea. Okay, so now the sea part. So it's talking about a city, like a place, because they're very cruel. Esau is cruel. That's the point. Ezekiel 29 verse 3. Speak and say, thus saith Yahweh the power, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers. What is the river? He is he's a great dragon, like the actual real dragon. He's just like Leviathan. So, what is this chapter talking about? It's talking about at that time, but just like how the elder apostles taught us, they learned us, here there goes the word learning again. They taught us that some chapters are 2 times fold, 3 times fold, 4 times 5, 6, like Ezekiel 31 and also Ezekiel 28. They're very multiple folds. So this one, modern day, is not talking about thus ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon and stuff like that. This is talking about modern day America, this is talking about modern day Egypt, modern day Pharaoh, modern day Sodom, modern day Babylon, modern day Assyria, which is Esau. That's what it's talking about. And so going back to over here concerning this, so let me read on. the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his river, because it is his pond. The world is his pond, his river. He is the boss. Esau, modern day Pharaoh is Esau, modern day king of Egypt is Esau, which had said, my river is owned, and I have made it for myself. He actually did. He actually did make it for himself. That's why he's in his heaven right now. You know what I'm saying? He has all the merchandise. He has all the traffic. If you just want to fly around, you shoot you out the air. You can't just open up a store without paying him taxes. Everything is his. You can't just go into the forest and start building stuff, chopping down trees. He's gonna fine you for that. Like, nope, this is my tree and my land. And let's say you do that. You go off the grid, you live somewhere in the forest. If he finds out, he might come over there and basically take your stuff, talking about you are up on private property. This land is mine. What are you doing here? Yeah, but you don't even use it. I mean, what's the last time you been here? 50 years? We've been living here for 50 years, man. It costs no trouble, nothing. You just heard about us, and now you want to take us down. Yeah, but you need to buy this land. From who? From him, you know. So, Ezekiel 32, verse 2. Son of man, take up lamentation for Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say unto him, thou art like a young lion of the nations. So now he's compared to a lion, you know. Pharaoh is compared to a lion, and Esau is also a lion. Also, the book of Hosea explains that he's a lion that feeds his wife and kids. And he is that. Back in the days, they had like one job and 2 cars and a house and picket fence and 2-3 children more even, and he could provide for them all. But now he can't provide. The average Edomite cannot provide for a family of him and his so-called wife, and then you have like 11 children. He can't do that. He can't even support 1 or 2. It's hard for them. But back in the days they could do it. But the elite of the heathen, the elite of Esau, they can do it. They are that lion. Thou art like a young lion of the nations, and thou art as the whale in the seas. You are like a dragon in the seas. If I'm correct, it's dragon there also. Ezekiel chapter 32, verse. Let me see something. If I'm correct, it's a dragon there too also. Yeah. Here. Hebrew chapter 8, 5, 7, 7. Dragon. Hebrew 8, 5, 7, 7. Hebrew 8, 5, 7, 7. He's called a dragon. So, dragon. Here, another one. Oh, I didn't know this word. It's not maybe. It's not this one either. This is what you're gonna call a whale. That's why you have to watch out for the snake-tongued devil. You know, that's a whale. That's not a freaking whale, you weirdo. Now you get to think about the whale that swallowed Jonah. That's why you have cartoons like this. To brainwash you, to make you think, to make you see. Image is 1,000 words. This is why he pushed this cartoon. Now I understand. Well, I understand it a long time ago, but now when I first found out, I was thinking to myself, oh, that's why that son of a bitch he pushed this upon the planet Earth, like yeah, Geppetto got swallowed by a whale, and then he used the cartoons to bump it to 1 billion people. Billions of people have seen this this cartoon, man, or know about it at least. I've heard it, you know, or seen it a little bit. Not even look. I mean, you know, you have hearing and listening. Yeah. Here, I just heard about it, you know, but I didn't really listen. So some people just saw the cartoon but didn't sit down and looked at it. You know what I mean with that? Yeah, I hope you know what I mean with that. Right. So, but they know about it. They know about Pinocchio, like the one that is a what is he? A robot? No. I mean a wood, and then he turns into a real person.